this is guard post 3. We're not going to be able to get out, but if you look to your right, you see the MDL right there and those panel markers. And straight out from here, if you start to look to your right, you'll see Panmunjom, or Propaganda Village. The gentleman up here asked a question about how many tourists come through the North Korean side. Not a lot. You got to realize they have a big problem with defectors up there. They're trying to keep their people in, whereas it's opposite with down here. And with that, they won't really allow anybody to go on tour that has a real reason to defect, i.e. anybody that's poor, which is most of their country. That is a very poverty-stricken country over there. And once they come over and they see things, or if they get any knowledge of what goes on outside of that country, they will attempt to leave. So it's always high-class people, a lot of people from China and a lot of people from Europe that go on those tours. The U.S. Has 1 month out of every year that they can go on that tour, but you can't have any military affiliation whatsoever, and they're extremely, extremely selective. I know people have gotten turned down at least 4 or 5 times. Alright, now what we just stopped in front of is a monument that is dedicated to the 2 officers that were killed in 1976. That circle right there, actually, you can stand up and take pictures of that, by the way. That circle right there represents the exact diameter of the tree that once stood there, so you get an idea of how big that tree actually was. Now, if you look up and to the right, you'll see guard post 3, which is where we just were. And if you look directly to your front, a little bit to the left, you'll see guard post 4. These are the 2 guard posts that had the limited visibility of each other in 1976. Now, 3 days after the axe murder incident, United Nations Command conducted what is known as Operation Paul Bunyan, which was the most extensive tree trimming operation to ever take place. What it was all the normal JSA workers, an extra platoon of infantry soldiers, 15 U.S. combat engineers, 50 ROC martial arts experts from the Special Forces Group, and flying south of the DMZ, they had a B-52 bomber, attack helicopters, and fighter jets. Also, just off the coast, they had the USS Midway with a full combat escort, just to cut down that one tree and also those 4 guard posts that were along the southern boundary road. Alright, now 3 days after they cut that down, they dated that tree and realized that tree was over 1,000 years old. Every year they conducted that tree trimming operation. Every year North Korea had a problem with it because it was rumored throughout North Korea that Kim Il-sung actually planted that tree. Now, you guys kind of get an idea of the propaganda that gets spread through there. Now, just up here is, the bridge of no return. Yes, you can take pictures. Now, the southern portion of that bridge was actually destroyed by the U.S. during the Korean War to prevent anybody from crossing, and we've obviously rebuilt it since. Actually, at the very end of the war, we rebuilt it. But if you were to go out there and look off to the right, you would still see bits and pieces of the old riverbed, or the old bridge in the riverbed. Alright, just on the other, the other side of that is Cape 8 Guard Tower number 7. Now, the unique thing about that guard tower over there, everything within the JSA, you cannot have anything more than a single shot rifle or a 9mm pistol. Alright, we're good. Alright, they are actually just outside of the JSA, so they do not fall under those regulations. So they actually have, we've seen, they've come out and pointed them at us. RPGs, RPKs, AK-47s, any fully automatic weapons like that. So that is the reason you guys can't actually get off the bus right there. Alright, now if you guys look to your left right here, if you remember in the picture where the truck was parked from the axe murder incident, they actually parked right there between that grass line and that tree line. Now around that tree line used to be a small brick wall, if you remember, where the KPA soldier was willing to axe at the JSA soldier. Alright, now typically we'll get out at guard post 3. Obviously we didn't get a chance to today, but once you get up there, there's a monument that actually points directly at the North Korean People's Peace